Alrighty, hello everyone, welcome to Sinful Gaming. Hope you're all doing well, hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. It is hobby and hangout time again. Let's just flick that up the tiniest bit. There we go. Hope you're all doing well. If you're there joining us, let us know what hobby you're working on. I got the couple of characters here to finish for my Emperor's Spears. I've got the Primaris Ancient, who I'm starting to do base coats on. I will get him done first, base coats, and wash him, and then we'll start doing all the layering on the Captain, who needs all these layering. He's had all these washes, and then we're just going to do the recess shading across the whole army, which is 25 Assault Intercessors, these two guys, and 6 Blade Guard Vets. That's 1,000 points of Emperor's Spears Space Marines all done. To be pretty sweet. I'm pretty chuffed to get them. Hello, Revan. Hello, Samuel. Nice to see you both there. Hope you're both doing well. So, after this, I might actually, hoping I can get these two at least mostly done tonight, and then tomorrow, just some recess shading and a little bit of work, and I need a tiny bit of this. Just gotta relayer this guy. Relayering the base coat for my purity seals. Oh, this is such a cool mini. The Blade Guard Ancient is such a nice mini. I think this whole set of Space Marines, I was saying it yesterday when we were live, like, how nice is this set of Space Marines from Indomitus? Annoyed myself it's taken me this long to actually paint my Space Marines up. I've had Indomitus since it came out. It's been that project, 40K's just been that project because it got pushed and pushed and pushed back, and then I finally had a tournament to go to, and at that point it was right, the Eldar 2K had to get done, which I think in the end really just spurred me on to get more 40K done because I really enjoyed myself. I know the game's not in the best place, and believe me, I did not take a competitive Eldar list. Maybe the Die Avengers were competitive in my list, but yeah, it definitely wasn't including some of the big hitters from the Eldari range, but it was a ton of fun. Really enjoyed myself. Going to a tournament for a game that wasn't Age of Sigmar was a nice experience, and just it sort of gave me something else, another thing to look forward to. So now, trying to go to as many different events for different game systems as I can. It looks like there's going to be a Middle-earth event I'll sign up for. No, I haven't managed to get Leagues of Votan. Unfortunately, just when it came out, it was just before I went to Hobart, and then, of course, we all got sick. So my order for that when we all got sick was just... I had to cancel my order, unfortunately, which was lucky. The local shop I have, he was really cool about it, and he's just well, at Leagues of Votan, someone else snapped up that box straight away. John, hello. Because unfortunately, we're being sick. I didn't want to, a launch box I knew the dude could sell. I didn't want to keep it, on his shelf when I had no idea when I was going to be able to get it again. Probably would have been able to pick it up, sometime this week or next week, but such is life. I'd love to pick up Leagues of Votan. We'll be on the horizon. I think next year, a big part of next year will be really getting 40K properly up and running on the channel. So it won't just be so I've only got Necrons, Eldar, Marines, and Tyranids, and then I've also got a small Harlequin force. I've also got a Sisters of Silence, so I've got some stuff for Kill Team. One box of Sisters of Silence is enough for Kill Team. But yeah, I definitely need to up the number of armies, so I'm looking at getting a few more armies up and running for the channel will be sort of the next goal. It'll be so that'll probably be when most of next year's purchases go. But so yeah, that'll be sort of that plan. Will be to go and sort of expand upon 40k next year, and probably Kings of War as well. I haven't personally driven. I've done videos like comparing like the savings and like what are the best value star collecting boxes and all of that, or like combat patrols and stuff. I haven't really done a thing comparing the value of the two, personally, because it doesn't really align with anything I want to put up on the channel. Yeah, like because it's like star collecting videos for 40k. I've not bothered doing the star collecting boxes because they just won't be there. And like lots of places are already out of stock of them. So I've just not bothered with them because it's not going to be an available product for much longer. So AOS technically has it in some form, but definitely 40k's combat rules. How units fight in that. 100% that's AOS. For fighting would make coherent units and stuff like that fight so much better. So that's definitely one thing. And something to Age of Sigmar for 40k. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, big one. Endless spells in 40k. Give me endless psychic powers. Yeah, but you sort of have conditional battle line, I guess, in 40k by picking the different detachments. So, like the downside in AOS is you're having to pick particular generals to unlock certain things, or you're having to pick certain things that might not be the most optimal thing. Where in 40k you're obviously dropping command points at the start of the game to have those conditional. Like you can play a army in 40k with nothing but elite units and a HQ. You can have those elite units as your main troops. If you run the particular battalion detachment that allows it. So 40k does have it to an extent. Just the price and what you're paying in the two different games is different. Yeah, but I think like Dreadnought Army of Obsec, I think defeats the like narrative purpose of the game system. Like narrative of the game. There is no army like that has, or not many. And I think 40k actually, I think, plays into its narrative or how an army looks better than Age of Sigmar does. Yeah, that could definitely work on like things like chaplains and stuff like that. I think that's certainly a good idea. Ah, there's one like 40k and AOS. No shooting into combat. You can give rules to things like Pistoliers and maybe Blackheart Corsairs with handbows that they can shoot into their own combat. But yeah, no shooting into combat. Definitely a thing from 40k I'd like to see brought to AOS. Yeah, we have chaplains and stuff in 40k, but they're not like properly keyworded and stuff like Age of Sigmar. I think that's what John's trying to get at. Yeah, it's just that they're not they're not like a singular thing in 40k. They're like how Age of Sigmar used to be, how it used to be, like prayers for Stormcast, incantations for someone else, and all these different things. They were all sort of like these own separate different things, and they still are that in 40k. Yeah, like that is definitely like something that 40k just needs. I completely agree with that. Just a priest keyword. Dark Apostle has it. Like you could even give it to the ethereals can have priests because they effectively are, like Cryptex could have it for Necrons. Like so many of those abilities you can like mass, and like some of them work differently. And I think like just letting them work the same, letting a Cryptek work the same as an ethereal, work the same as a chaplain, work the same as a Dark Apostle. Just let it all be the same thing. I think, having those rules, same as like all the fix-it rules, like all the Tech Marines and all that sort of stuff. I think the fix-it rules for all of those, we've now got the Ironkin for Votan. I think, Tech Marines and all that can all be like one thing. Give an engineer keyword out. Like, I think stuff like that should just have one rule set that works one way. I'm like in Age of Sigmar, I'm a big believer that we should just have like how we have ward as a keyword now as a universal special rule. I think we should have bodyguard as a special rule in Age of Sigmar now. I think that needs to be one thing. Anything like that, doesn't matter what game system, should have the one, like, yeah, narratively a Cryptek, a chaplain, and a ethereal are all slightly different types of priests, but just make them all have just in game, they can all work the same. Now, I don't mind unit champions being slightly different, or like unit banners. My big thing is with commands in Age of Sigmar. I thought at the start of third for Age of Sigmar, see, banners and totems, I don't mind having different rules. I like it now, a totem now has an 18-inch range in general. I think that was a good change. Something I would have liked to see, but like you could give a totem. Totems can allow, like you could have totem, not only that, but totems just allow reroll battle shock tests within 18 inch of them. That's a core totem rule, and then you can give each totem their little special thing. Yeah, where was I going? Yeah, speaking of like range of commands and stuff like that, I thought that was something they should have introduced at the start of the edition, where, and obviously as new books have come out, we've seen that be the case with the ranges and stuff as we've removed a lot of commands here. But I thought when the edition started, I thought they should have just gone, all commands follow this range. Oh, Roberto, how do you from, what is it, Sasebo? Is it Sasebo or Sasebo? Or I'm probably saying it completely incorrect. But hello, someone from Japan. Not had someone from that part of the world in there? Yeah, it's like coalition rules for cities work completely different for everyone else. Coalition cities, I get all my units that come in get the benefit of the city rules, where coalition chaos, they don't. Like, all that stuff needs to be, I'm a massive, massive. Oh, American posted there. Nice. Still, someone from Japan. Hope you're doing well, mates. But I hope everyone is doing well. So we're just getting the base coats done on this guy, and then we're going to put all the washes down, and then I'll start doing the layering and the highlighting on the captain. Our winters have been pretty shocking here lately, to be honest. No, well, it would be our summer. Last summer wasn't too bad, actually. It's pretty nice for once. Summer can get pretty insane, especially where I am. I'm from South Australia, so we are the hottest and driest state in the country. Donald Flowers, hello. I am painting a couple of Space Marine characters for my Emperor Spears chapter. I have the Primaris Captain with Storm Shield and Relic Power Sword from the Indominus set, and the Blade Guard Ancient from the same set as well. These two guys round out 1,000 points of Space Marines, all done in the past week. So I've got 25 Assault Intercessors and 6 Blade Guard veterans along with these, and a lieutenant. So just getting the base coats down on this guy, so I can get him all washed, and then we can start the layering on the captain. Lost your mind with it. Yeah, Hello Heart can be pretty intense on the old noggin. Certainly a lot to remember in Hello Heart. I have not heard anything on the corn front, unfortunately. I haven't really heard much of what next year is going to hold. Yeah, so Rustbell, I think at 1,000 points you don't need transferts at all. Maybe Votan do with movement 4, maybe like super slow things like them. But in all honesty, I think at transports they're just eating up points. Unless you got like a really good transport, like something like a wave serpent that's actually like a tank in its own right as well. I don't think you need them. Not 1,000 points. Oh, nice. Dark of Core. My Hello Heart list generally revolves around having a big block of Phoenix Guard, Hurricane and Luminarch at the back, a big blob of handgunners, and a Steam Tank Commander with the Arcane Tome. He's really fun to use. Khorne definitely do need some help. They play nothing like you would expect Khorne to. They, with the blood type change, they've definitely seen an improvement. They still definitely need a bit of love, though. Would say too. Like tournament data is all well and good, but it is not the majority of games being played. So, like the people playing tournaments understand Age of Sigmar at a better, maybe a not better, maybe a more competitive sense than other people do. They're playing the game in a different way than a lot of people do play the game of just, I have these cool units, I've put models down on the table. Oops, that's not around. Yeah, there's been rumors on that. Yeah, Dawnbringer Crusades will be the new Cities of Sigmar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's probably 100% true. That Dawnbringer Crusades will be Cities of Sigmar 2.0. Like, in all the stories, they're literally that. Which I'm fine with. Like, we can see the artwork; it looks all like fairly similar. It's gonna give us the same bit of models of the world, which would be really cool. For me, with the retinues, I always like to have a unit that's just throwaway that is there to die. The problem with like both of those units is the units you're wanting to have in be effective on the battlefield. I almost always go the cheaper options, so something like Dread Spears or Dark Bleak Swords as my honored retinue, just because I don't care what happens to them. They can all die, and I really don't care. Where if I'm losing Blackguard, if I'm losing Dark Shards, I actually care if I lose those models because I don't want to be. I want those models to be on the table still. All right, let's get them done. While I wait for those to, because I've already got silver on the palette, we might as well start doing the silver highlights. So, silver on these guys is silver wash, so it's a shining silver I'm using. You can use anything, so like Stormhost Silver would be a great one from GW. And like Night Bright Crisp Silver. Using that, washing with Drakenhof Nightshade, and then re-highlighting. So, AOS has had Apocalypse rule sets before. There was one in GHB 2019. We had Mega Battle rules. I've actually used them. They're really, really fun. I hope so. Like, I like all those special mission stuff. Like, those sort of books really hit home with me. I absolutely love Thondia. Going to be playing through it on Thondia on the channel soon. Nothing on Umbraneth or Malachus that we know of, Donald. Also, if you are in the chat, don't forget to drop a like on the video. It helps people come find us and join in the conversation we're all having. Gets more people coming in and chatting with us. It could work for big. We played 250,000 points. A 250,000 point siege game of Age of Sigmar. Those rules, I had an entire Warrior Chamber of Stormcast on the table. I hope Faction Terrain stays. I think Faction Terrain is really interesting. Maybe an interesting part to the game would be in match play, have Faction Terrain actually cost points. However, I feel at the moment with Faction Terrain, so many armies, it's integral to how they play. Like Beasts of Chaos minus Faction Terrain don't work. Gloomspike Gits minus Faction Terrain are way worse than they are now, and they're bad now. Even Khorne need their Faction Terrain piece. Nurgle and Sylvaneth need Faction Terrain. It's a major part of how the armies work. So I don't think you can take away Faction Terrain without having to rewrite multiple armies in massive ways. So I like it. I like Faction Terrain. I think it makes a board look nice. It's always nice seeing someone have their brilliant painted army and then also putting down that amazing painted Faction Terrain piece they've got. Yeah, Ogres, on the other hand, the Moorplot really isn't an influential one. I hope the new Battle Tome, that is a big change. Because it's one of the coolest terrain pieces, the Moorplot. Yeah, ogres are so much fun. I really thoroughly enjoy painting my ogres. The Thunder Tusk kit is one of the most fun things I've ever painted. I know. Yeah, I don't know if I changed too much. I don't want to you don't want to add more bloat into those sort of rules. You just let them be what they are. I feel like if you muck around with them too much, you're just going to cause more issues than what you have. Yeah, that could certainly be something. I mean, that's something that actually happens in some of the Thundy battle plans. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Faction terrain for me, not an issue. I don't think it's one of the issues with the game, so I don't know what I would honestly do to change it. For me, I made a video on what I think the biggest problem with Age of Sigmar at the moment is, and that's the current GHP. I don't think the game is actually that bad. I think the core fundamental issue of the game at the moment is the current GHP is trash. Yeah, all Primaris. For me, I can't bring myself to purchase Firstborn Marines. I like Primaris just look cooler. That and have a feeling we'll probably see the death of Firstborn at some point. Old Marines will definitely go away at some point. Marines are in an iffy spot at the moment. I think they're definitely suffering from early release syndrome. As the edition gets on, like those armies that are early really struggle. They've had some changes. Marines, I don't think there's anything that's particularly great in them. There's no sort of like major busted combos. Combat unit with a apothecary is a pretty good shot, but redemptors are pretty much a must. They're so good. Your tanks are generally not great, but the speeders are pretty good. Cool. Yeah. I'm not really sure on the Old Marines. I don't play them a lot, so I don't really know on Firstborn. Oh. Alrighty, done that. So let's get some washes on this guy. Just on the first highlight on the cloth. Highlighted all the metals. Oh yeah, that sounds like a really good start there. The Blood Angels and the Dark Angels ones are by far the best two box sets. Those two combined, you've got a really, really decent force. Yeah, Blade Guard would be my next go. Units of 6 Blade Guard are super, super solid. They're really, really good. They hit like a truck. They got that nice mix of like high volume attacks and good damage on the attacks as well. So work really well against both like lighter vehicles or tougher things, and indeed other Marines. I know, that sounds like a really good start there, Rossbelt. Yeah, look, like Blade got a solid. I think like yeah, you should like they should be pretty punchy. And like 1,000 points is worth like thinking. 1,000 points is very, very different than 2K. What's good at 2K is not necessarily good at 1,000 points, and vice versa. This goes for like both GW's main systems. What's good in like 2K is very different than what's good at 1K. Well, we're getting all the washes all done. AOS Zombie Apocalypse rules. Where are they found? Yeah, it's a weird space. Like, it's funny because people complained for so long about realm rules, right? And then they got rid of them. Everyone was happy, but now they brought them back, and no one seems to complain. Like, because it's a set thing. It's weird. It is exactly what it was when we had like. The difference was we used to have battle packs where we could have all these things be our choice of how we're playing in the battle packs or the GHBs. Contest of Generals is fantastic. It is by far. So the next two Age of Sigmar battle reports you'll see up on the channel are actually Contest of General games. We played the first two scenarios. We're recording up the third one soon. But it is the best games of Age of Sigmar like I've played in a while. It's been the funnest versions of it. You're saying Warcom? All right, I'll have to grab that. I don't have the latest White Dwarf yet, so I will go grab that someday soon, and I will have a look at that. It sounds fun. Do I need lots of zombies? Because that's an issue. I don't have a lot of zombie models. I've got 26. And it's decided to be a bugger now, of all times. The other, I'd suggest for Contest of Generals, and I've looked at it, is playing second edition battle plans using battle tactics. I think work really well with Contest of Generals. Yeah, that definitely works. It Yeah, because I think the issue with like this one, cool, newest white dwarf. I will pick that up and have a good look at them, Revan. No worries. I will have a look at it. I haven't got the latest white dwarf yet, so we'll go pick that up in the next few days and have a good look at it. Oh, yeah, so should hopefully have these Marines done pretty soon, and then I can start working on some other fun little projects. Yeah, I would say that's pretty much guaranteed, I think. I think transhuman will just go on the war scroll. It might only be like one, and they can't be wounded on 1 or 2. Maybe then the 3 up, and maybe that's the stratagem is like the stratagem puts it to 1 to 3, but 1 or 2 never wounds them. Could be the way that maybe that goes, but I definitely could see it. Now we're starting to highlight our leather, which will be Baneblade Brown as my highlight. Yeah, it's not an uncommon thing though. Like, there's lots of armies that have that. Like I said, I think Space Marines could definitely have it as like a 1 and 2 on their War Scroll or Data Slate, whatever you want to call it. So you can't wound a Space Marine on a 1 or 2. Definitely can make them a little bit tougher, and then you can still have the stratagem being like they can't be wounded on a 1 to 3. Coffee. I don't know how I could not survive without coffee. Working in kitchens for so many years, I've developed a taste for energy drinks and coffee. Now, coffee in Australia is really good, though. I have so many Italian friends come here and say, like, apparently, like, Australia's coffee is second only. Apparently, our coffee game is really, really strong here. Yeah, it needs it revving. Because like you've got so many crazy guns in the game now. Space Marines just need to be tough. That needs to be their thing. Right. Either that or like Space Marines. Space Marines going to get tougher. Their weapons are pretty good already. Whoop. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Ninth is interesting. Like 10th, it's funny. Ninth was supposed to be a reset at 8th, and I think they're going to have to do a reset again. When they hit 10th. I think they've just lost their way a little. Yeah, like Marines should be expensive. You should not have many Marines on the table. I don't want to see points decreases in Marines. I want to see Marines get better. Points decreases in Marines means you get more Marines on the table, which just does not fit the narrative. Like, you're supposed to have like there's stories where squads of a squad of Marines can save a world. So stay. What was it on? My pinks. Car. Infrastructure. Honestly, I don't think we're going to see many updates to older Marine kits, even rules wise, because I think they're like purposely trying to stop people buying them. I don't think they want people buying those old kits. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. Like, old Marines will just disappear into Horus Heresy or the Abyss. Yeah, we got there are plans in the future for Path of Glory and that on the channel, so you will see that sort of stuff soon. Like, it probably would have happened earlier had I not gotten sick a couple of times now. So there definitely are plans for campaign stuff on the channel. Matter of getting that stuff organized again. Alrighty. Sort of. I guess like you could use those ghouls as zombies. Like, then you build Vargas and a vampire lord on a zombie dragon, and totally could. Alright, you shabty. Slowly getting there with this guy. Rightio. So, start the bone now. Yeah. Yeah, that might be part of the plan. Patreon and YouTube members will certainly get a shout in the Path to Glory campaign. So yeah, there will be definitely something to along those lines, John. Yeah, like I think Patreon and YouTube members, I think voting for the campaigns will definitely be something like to give something back for the people who really help support the channel in that way. I think that's probably where that goes. Um, and maybe there will be, like a few things that might get opened up to general public, but I think the decent amount of the voting will certainly go towards Patreon and YouTube members. We're talking about doing like linked campaigns, so having like Aeronautica, Kill Team, and 40k all playing in linked campaign games. Yeah, Crusade is in the big rule book. Crusade is much better than Path to Glory as a system. Way more fleshed out. There's proper supplements. Crusade is a vastly better system than Path to Glory. So if you like Path to Glory, you'll love Crusade because it is. I got pain on my lip. There we go. Go on. Yeah, like we thought of like some cool ideas. So, like in the campaign, you'd have like our campaign map that we're going to play on, and what will happen is you'll play like Aeronautica games to control the skies. So these will first of all, give you the ability to play with your flyers in games, and also to bring reinforcements further into the campaign map. So you might control half the map on the ground, but your opponent might control like nearly the entire map in the sky. So you can't actually bring reinforcements to your front lines because they control the sky over the front of you. I do have Titanicus now. Quite excited to get Titanicus going. Ooh. Nah, like I think if we're going to do campaigns, we're going to do like some more in-depth campaign play stuff. I think it's important to like show like what you can achieve with a bit of work. Like campaign play does require bookkeeping. We're going to do some smaller campaigns. Something I want to do is dual boxes. I want to start playing through like the dual box campaigns that come in and like the 3 campaign missions. So I've been grabbing a bunch of them. So the idea is I want to get a bunch of the forces painted and play with them. Yeah, look, I'm more than happy to give that a crack. I was looking at the Beast War stuff that they put up on Warhammer Community a little while ago as well. So it is a different scale now. I like it. Like I managed to find the starter set. So I got the starter set. So I've got 2 forces of knights. So I'll get some stuff happening on it. So that and Aeronautica will certainly get happening on the channel soon. Tastes delicious. No, It's just a quick and simple way to get the tip nice and crisp. It's actually more natural to do that to the bristles than to use water and paper towel, because the bristles are generally made out of animal hair, which, how do animals clean themselves? By licking. How do they keep their fur straight? By licking it. What's your minis? What do you mean? What are your minis? The minis I'm working on now? Oh, minis that I own for Titanicus. I just got the starter box for it. And for Aeronautica, I've just got the Eldariva Space Marine starter box at the moment. But we will have more coming. Minis that I own that aren't for those games I just talked about. Oh dear. There's a lot. However much you think is a lot, there's more than that. AOS in 40k. Oh dear. Yeah, my paint water is about as clean as some of the water systems in America. AOS and 40k, there are way too many models to mention for AOS and 40k, man. I've got 10,000 points of painted cities with probably another 10,000 points unpainted. Yeah, I saw the one of the New York, some representative from New York going, tap water, drink tap water with me. And then there was someone like pouring, and it was like black water coming from the tap in their bath. And I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, there's like, I own every Age of Sigmar army. There's not an Age of Sigmar army I don't own. 40k, I'm up to 5 armies now for 40k. Alrighty, let's find my reds. Wild Rider. No, Scrag. Fist Island. Scrag again. Let's That's Wild Rhino. That's Fire Dragon Bright. Dear God. Our main river in Adelaide's not great either. Like the Torrens is festy. You're told not to swim in it. In the River Torrens. You're told not to so the parklands around the River Torrens as well use the bore water from the River Torrens, and you're told not to go under the sprinklers from that. Going under sprinklers is a big thing in Australia in the heat. Being told not to is So we have to have massive treatment plants here in South Australia because a lot of our drinking water comes from the River Murray, which actually travels through farmland of both New South Wales and Victoria, and they flush all their pesticides in it. So they've got fresh water because they're upstream and they filter before the farmland. New South Wales has the best water, and then Victoria gets theirs, and then we finally get it from that. So it actually does more damage. By the time it gets to us, it's got two states buggering it. But we've recently got a desalination plant as well. We've got two of them now in South Australia. We don't drink tap water. We buy bottled water only. John, that sounds amazing. See, I'm in a very, very hot state here in South Australia. our tap water can be almost boiling point during summer. You can't drink tap water like during summer. You can't like water your plants with tap water out the backyard until like midnight, because if you try and do it during the day, the pipes are the water's generally hot enough, it'll like burn away your plants. It'll kill your plants. It's really weird too. Where I'm in South Australia, we've got this massive above ground pipeline that runs for like, I think it's something like 10 kilometers. It's just weird. It's just an old massive pipe above ground, and it's just so hard to put it in the ground now that it's just, this massive pipeline that just goes on forever. And it's actually, it goes underground, every now and again on roads, but it's above ground for the most part. And it's how we get water. It's just massive, massive pipeline. Yeah. It's stuff like that. It's just like worrying. Like that should be your first port of call, is like clean drinking water. And anyway, let's talk about some positive stuff. Well, for the last few minutes while I'm online. Yeah. understand myself. Righty, well, I'm going to apply this wash, and then I think that will be it for the night. I want to thank everyone for coming, hobbying, and hanging out and chatting with us. It's been a ton of fun. We will be back maybe tomorrow night. No, I did not give the Blade Guard plasma pistol because it's the dude out of the box set, so he does not have a plasma pistol. That will be a question for another time, John. I'm going to disappear because it's now past midnight. So thank you all for coming, watching, hobbying, and hanging out. I will catch you all again real soon. That makes 3 hobby hangouts in the space of a week, and we're doing pretty good with them. Thank you all for coming and watching. Stay safe, everyone. Stay well. And most of all, keep fighting that war against the great. Ciao for now.